Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Key Time Sports. It's Key Time coming back to talk about the Wednesday night slate in the NBA. Now, there were four intriguing games that I saw, plus, we had somebody win at the buzzer last night in the NBA. That was a very intriguing game. I am going to give you all and unravel all of what happened last night in the four games that I am about to cover. Now, the first game I am going to cover is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Denver Nuggets. Now, both of these teams right now, they are top five in their respective conferences. Denver Nuggets, they are at the third spot in their conference. The Milwaukee Bucks are number 6 in their conference. A lot has happened for the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks because Milwaukee, they were in the fifth spot, but like I keep telling people, Detroit is making their way. They are fifth. They could be fourth by season's end. I mean, and the Indiana Pacers, they lost the game last night too. One that one that they were that one that they shouldn't have lost because they crawled all the way back. But now let me get to the Bucks and the Denver Nuggets. Now the Milwaukee Bucks last night, you have Taurean Prince. He had 15 points. Kyle Kuzma had 10 points. Brook Lopez had 26 points. Gary Trent Jr. had 16 points. Kevin Porter Jr. had 12 points. Bench production. Bench production was great, but only three people came off the bench last night. Pat Connaughton, 6 points. AJ Green, 15 points. Ryan Rollins, 17 points. So that is, they only had 8 players last night for the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, like I've been saying, the Milwaukee Bucks are not the team that they used to be. And then, God forbid, hopefully Damian Lillard can come back because blood clots is a very serious thing. He does not need to be worried about trying to come back. Let's get him better health wise. So the Milwaukee Bucks are in a tough place right now. They are at the sixth spot. They would not have home court advantage. Let me see who would they would play. The Milwaukee Bucks would play the New York Knicks in the first round of the playoffs if the standings hold like this. So Milwaukee Bucks, they have some that they are between a rock and a hard place. You're down one of your you're down one of your superstars, and you are gonna have to scratch and claw your way throughout these final 9 to 10 games of the regular season. Now, as far as for the Denver Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, all throughout the season, I said that they would be in the thick of things, and they have been. You have Aaron Gordon last night. He had 7 points. Michael Porter Jr. had 23 points. Nikola Jokic had 39 points. Jamal Murray had 17 points. Christian Braun had 19 points. The Denver Nuggets starting five has been consistent throughout the entirety of the season. It's just the bench that has been inconsistent. You had Peyton Watson, 12 points. Spencer Jones, 0 points. DeAndre Jordan, 0 points. Russell Westbrook, 6 points. Jalen Pickett, 4 points. And on top of that, when we look at the statistics from the team as a whole, from both teams, pretty much they're pretty much about the same, but they shot the same. Both teams shot the same amount of 3 pointers, 16 or 37. 3 point percentage was the same. Free throws, the Denver Nuggets shot more free throws. As far as free throw percentage, Bucks were more efficient from the free throw line, but as far as offensive and offensive rebounds, both teams were tied with 8, and defensive rebounds, the Denver Nuggets won. Like I've been saying, in the playoffs, when it comes to the NBA in the playoffs, let me tell you what is going to win series for these teams. Defensive rebounding, not turning the ball over, making free throws, and being being consistent in making good decision making in timely moments in the game in the playoffs. That's the four things that all teams need when it comes to the playoffs. Clock management, clock management is number 1. Free throws, making free throws is 2. Having making sure everybody is on the same page, number 3, and also rebounding, defensive rebounding is 4. So outside of that, this was a great game. Steals +2 for Denver, blocks +2 for the Milwaukee Bucks, turnovers +1 for the Bucks. You don't want to have a game where you turn the ball over more than 10 times. This is, and it seems like throughout the entirety of this week, this is what we have been talking about the most, because every team that I've covered in the NBA this week, they have one thing in common. Every team has at least turned the ball over 9 times in every game this week. Not to mention, yesterday morning, we covered a team that turned the ball over 18 times. So this is the trend, this turnover trend that all of these teams have is not going to fare well for them in the playoffs. So now, the next game I'm going to cover is the Los Angeles Clippers and the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks in this situation, we knew that they were going to lose a game, and I'm saying this for Stephen A's own good, because he knows that the New York Knicks are not going to be able to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Boston Celtics in a 7-game series. And let me tell you, the New York Knicks, they are fortunate right now that the 3-6 matchup, the potential playoff matchup for the 3-6 matchup in the Eastern Conference, is the New York Knicks and the Milwaukee Bucks. They are very fortunate. So last night's game for the Clippers, you had Kawhi Leonard scored 27 points. Ivica Zubac had 18. James Harden had 29. Norman Powell had 19. Chris Dunn had 9. That's the Clippers starters. Now let me tell you all, the Clippers have never won a championship ever. Let me tell you all just how many times they made it out of the second round within the last 35 years. Just 3 times. They've never hosted the conference finals. So, first, second round, that's it for the LA Clippers. That's it. They don't know what it's like to be a championship team. Now, we have said this year after year after year that the Clippers are a championship team. Yes, because of what their roster is like. But you have to go out there on the court in them 4 lines, 94 feet, and defend and score efficiently throughout the entirety of an 82-game season, plus 20-plus games in the playoffs. And the Clippers, they haven't done that. And this year, it's another year where they are going to get knocked out of the first or second round because they are not going very far. The Clippers bench production: Nicholas Batum, 6 points; Drew Eubanks, 0 points; Derrick Jones Jr., 12 points; Patty Mills, 0 points; Ben Simmons, 2 points; Boban Bogdanovic, 4 points; Kobe Brown, 0 points. Clippers right now. Clippers are currently, the Clippers are the 6th spot right now in the Western Conference. I don't see them. I don't see them going much higher than that. Right now, they are tied with the Golden State Warriors for the 6th spot. That sixth spot is going to that sixth spot is going to fluctuate between now and the end of the season. Most teams in the NBA now, they have 9 or 10 games left in the regular season. So when it comes to the West, teams 6 through 10, if they lose 2 or 3 games, they could be out of it entirely. That's what it is. They could be out of it entirely. Now, the New York Knicks are making it to the playoffs. I'm looking for them to clinch a playoff spot within the next 2 or 3 games. So now, the New York Knicks starters: Malik Bridges, 17 points; OG Anunoby, 28 points; Karl Anthony Towns, 30 points; Cameron Payne, 15 points; Josh Hart, 7 points. Josh Hart, he is their top-notch defensive guy. That's all he is out there for, is for defense. Now, as far as bench production when it comes to the New York Knicks, please, everybody, I'm gonna go down this list, and the bench, they didn't do nothing last night. Precious Achiuwa, 6 points; Anton Watson, 0 points; Marjon Beauchamp, 0 points; Mitchell Robinson, 0 points; Dion White, 0 points; Landry Shamet, 6 points; Tyler Kolek, 0 points; and PJ Tucker, he was out because of a coach's decision. Now, the New York Knicks. This is why I keep on saying that Tom Thibodeau doesn't value his bench. He really doesn't. Because when you look at these numbers, when it comes to minutes being played, you have Mikal Bridges, Mikal Bridges, 40 minutes; OG Anunoby, 37 minutes; Karl Anthony Towns, 39 minutes; Cameron Payne, 18 minutes; Josh Hart, 34 minutes. These guys are pretty much playing the entirety of the game with no rest. And then when you go to your bench, they can't put up any legitimate points and I'm not even gonna say be a legitimate threat, but at least be out there and score some points consistently. Like I said, when it comes to bench players, if I'm a head coach, what I'm expecting from all of my players that come off the bench is give me 10 to 12 points a game. That's all I need, because most of the bench players, they don't play more than, let's say, 10, 15 minutes. And as you can see, Precious Achiuwa played 8 minutes. Anton Watson had 1 minute. Marjon Beauchamp had 1 minute. Mitchell Robinson had 13 minutes. Dion Wright had 12 minutes, and Landry Shamet and Tyler Kolek had 19 minutes each. That's what they did. They had 19 minutes each. So now standings concerned. The Clippers, if the season ended today, the Clippers, they would be playing the Denver Nuggets in the first round. And the New York Knicks, like I've been saying the last couple of minutes, they would be playing the Milwaukee Bucks. So what I think is the Clippers, downright the Clippers are going to lose to I think the Clippers are going to lose to whoever they play in the first round because they don't have they don't have good bench production. They don't have good scores coming off the bench. And for the New York Knicks, best case scenario for them is a first round series win and a second round exit. That's what I think because when they get to the third round and then the conference finals, I don't see them being there. I see the Cavaliers and the Celtics being there. That's what I see. Now, which leads, let's see, now, as far as team statistics concerned, throughout the night, Knicks, they pretty much, it's pretty much an even swap here when it comes to statistics. You had the Clippers shoot 51% from the floor last night. 3-point percentage, they were way better than the Knicks. They made more threes. Free throws, 20 of 24 for the Clippers. The New York Knicks, 16 of 22 for the Knicks. Free throws, 83% for the Clippers, 72% for the New York Knicks. Rebounds, I've been saying this throughout the entirety of this show. I said most importantly, defensive rebounds will win you some games in the regular season. So, offensive rebounds, +6 for the Clippers. Defensive rebounds, +1 for the Clippers. Assists, +8 for the New York Knicks. Steals, they were tied. Each team had 4. Blocks, Clippers, +7. 8-1 in the block department. Total turnovers, Clippers had 5 points. The New York Knicks had 10 points. Now, the Clippers are the first team all week that I have seen a winning team in the NBA this week win when they have single-digit turnovers. Now, single-digit turnovers, you don't see that much in the NBA now. But the Clippers, I believe they are fighting. The Clippers, as you can see with their standings, they are fighting to keep a playoff spot and not have to play in the play-in tournament. Not have to be in the play-in tournament because anything can happen in the play-in tournament because like I say, all of these teams that are in the play-in tournament right now, when you look at the Western Conference, Golden State, Minnesota, Sacramento, and Phoenix, wouldn't be surprised if one out of those 4 teams make it to the playoffs, the first round of playoffs, and then give their first round opponent some trouble. Because that is what I see when it comes to any of these teams in the 7 through 10 spot in the Western Conference. That's what I see. Now, the largest lead for the Clippers was 19 points. The largest lead for the Knicks was 14 points. Now, Clippers only have 9 games left. The New York Knicks only have 8 games left. So, this is going to be, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Records are going to fluctuate. Seedings are going to fluctuate. Spots are going to fluctuate. Just like we have seen over the last week and a half, the next week and a half to 2 weeks is going to determine what teams we see in the playoffs. The next game I am going to cover is the Boston Celtics and the Phoenix Suns. The Boston Celtics, we know that they are at the 2nd spot in the Eastern Conference right now. They have already clinched their playoff spot. They are just resting up for the playoffs. They are just resting up. And the Phoenix Suns are at the 10th spot in the West right now. So we get to their starters for last night. Al Horford, 16 points. Kristaps Porzingis, 30 points. Jrue Holiday, 16 points. Derek White, 16 points. Jaylen Brown, 24 points. The Boston Celtics starters, they have been a consistent, balanced lineup all season. When you have three guys score at least 16 points and the other two guys each put in at least 20 plus points, you have a legitimate, well oiled machine in your lineup. Now, as far as their bench concerned, their bench production, Baylor Shearman, 3 points. Tony Craig, 3 points. Sam Hauser, 11 points. Luke Cornick, 2 points. Nemasa Quetta, 4 points. Peyton Pritchard, 7 points. Jordan Walsh, 0 points. And Jason Tatum, he did not play last night because of a sprained left ankle. From what I hear, it is not serious at all. They are going to monitor him day by day. But if I was the Celtics, I would just get Jason Tatum ready for the playoffs. I really would. Just get him ready for the first round series because you have the second spot in the East sold up. It's locked up already. It's locked up already. Now, for the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns, they are on the, well, technically they are in the play-in tournament right now, but they are on the outside looking in when it comes to a solidified, solid playoff spot. Now, Kevin Durant, 30 points. Ryan Dunn, 6 points. Nick Richards, 10 points. Devin Booker, 14 points. Colin Gillespie, 5 points. Phoenix Suns starters have been one of the worst starting five throughout the entirety of this season, and that proved well last night. Read the bench production for the Phoenix Suns. Bench production for the Phoenix Suns was downright awful last night. Royce O'Neal, 0 points. Cody Martin, 8 points. Mason Plumlee, 0 points. Bobo, 8 points. Osho Agario, 6 points. Monte Morris, 2 points. Tyus Jones, 8 points. Damian Lee, 2 points. Damian Lee, 3 points. Grayson Allen, 2 points. And Versace Mimic, 0 points. So now we look to the team statistics for both teams, and last night, I'm not even going to beat around the bush, the Celtics were more efficient. And they had the lead for the entirety of the game. Now, Phoenix Suns have a bad defense. As far as defensive rebounding, they are in the bottom 5 of the NBA when it comes to defensive rebound. The Phoenix Suns are. The Celtics are pretty much a well-oiled machine. The only type of competition they have in the East is mainly the Cavaliers in this case, because the Celtics, where I see the Celtics at right now, whoever they play in their first round series now, their first round series, whichever 4 teams win in the play-in tournament in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics will possibly play the winner of, as it's currently at right now, the Atlanta Hawks, Orlando Magic, or the Chicago Bulls, or the Miami Heat. Now, do I think Boston will sweep anybody they play in the first round? Yes, I do. Sweep them, or it will be a gentleman's sweep. Now for the Phoenix Suns in this case. Phoenix Suns, one thing, they are currently on the outside looking in. They are in the play-in tournament, but one thing I see, they'll play if the play-in tournament was today, the Phoenix Suns would be playing the Golden State Warriors. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe the Golden State Warriors could blow out the Phoenix Suns, just like the Boston Celtics did the Phoenix Suns last night. The Phoenix Suns, they have no bench, no legitimate scorers outside of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. So it's pretty much it's a significant drop in shooting productivity when it comes from the bench production for the Phoenix Suns. It really is. And you also see their points per game. Their points per game, the points they are allowing and the points that they score, they give up as many points as they score. You are going to run into trouble every time, just like that. You are. And so for the game last night, offensive rebounds, total rebounds, the Celtics were plus 10. Offensive rebounds, both teams were tied with 11. Defensive rebounds, the Celtics were plus 10. Assists, plus 11 for the Celtics. Steals, plus 1 for the Celtics. Blocks, plus 4 for the Celtics. Total turnovers, the Celtics had 11. The Suns had 14. They need to work on their turnovers because in the playoffs, turnovers will beat you. Turnovers will beat you. I cannot emphasize that enough. Points off of turnovers. The Suns had 16 turnovers. 16 points off of Celtic turnovers. The Celtics had 14 points off of Phoenix Suns turnovers. Fast break points, they both had 9. Points in the paint, Celtics had 44 points in the paint, so they were plus 8. Fouls, they had the same amount of fouls. The largest lead of this game was 34 points. And the Suns' largest lead of the game, they did not have the lead at all in this game. And that's the thing that shocks me. You are a professional basketball team and you play 48 minutes and you don't have the lead at all in the game. You don't hear that. You don't hear that much coming from a team that's so offensive efficient, that have so much offensive efficiency like the Suns do. Because when we look at their points per game, the Phoenix Suns average 114 points per game. So them not having a lead nowhere in the game versus the Celtics, it is pretty much another layer of another layer of concern when it comes to the Phoenix Suns, because what that is showing me and everybody else is they cannot defend consistently when it comes to stopping teams, and as far as defensive rebounds, they are not able to win offense. They are not able to get defensive rebounds like that because they are in the bottom half of the league. They are, and outside of Kevin Durant, they really don't have a big man that is 7 foot or more. I know Bobo is 7+ feet, but he comes off the bench and he only has 10 to 15 minutes to play per game. So in the starting lineup, they don't have a big man. The Phoenix Suns don't. So that is what's going to hurt them on down the line. And if they are able to make the play-in tournament, good luck trying to win against the Golden State Warriors in the play-in tournament, because the Warriors, they have better shooters, they play better defense, and plus when it comes to free throws, the Warriors, they make more free throws than the Phoenix Suns have. The last game I am going to cover is My Los Angeles Lakers and the Indiana Pacers. LeBron James, he came through last night. He didn't have a big game. He didn't. But one thing I can say is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this, and before I get off of here, the Lakers, what they need to do is third quarter. They have lapses. So what I'm going to do, the Lakers starters, Rui Hachimura, 14 points. LeBron James, 13 points. Jackson Hayes, 13 points. Luka Doncic, 34 points. Austin Reeves, 24 points. The Lakers bench production. Players coming off the bench. Dorian Finney-Smith, 11 points. Jared Vanderbilt, 0 points. Gabe Vincent, 6 points. Jordan Goodwin, 2 points. Dalton Knecht, 3 points. And everybody else did not play because of coach's decision. Now, one thing about the Lakers, they are 44-28 right now. They are at the fourth spot in the Western Conference right now, and the Indiana Pacers are at the fourth spot in the Eastern Conference right now. So as far as the Indiana Pacers starters, Pascal Siakam, 15 points. Aaron Naismith, 13 points. Miles Turner, 16 points. Andrew Nembhard, Tyrese Halliburton, each had 16 points. Obi Toppin, Indiana Pacers bench production. Obi Toppin, 10 points. Jarris Walker, 15 points. Thomas Bryant, 0 points. Benedict Mathurin, 23 points. TJ McConnell, 5 points. Ben Shepherd, 0 points. Everybody else didn't play because of coach's decision. Now, as far as the Lakers, they had a 15-point lead in this game. But one thing that I have been saying that has been hurting the Lakers over the last, well, mainly I'm going to say since they won the championship in 2020, is their third quarter efficiency. The Lakers, they allowed 37 points from the Pacers in the third quarter. And if it wasn't for LeBron James tapping the ball back in right at the buzzer, we are obviously talking about the Lakers losing their sixth game in the last 10 tries, and their sixth game in the last 10 tries, and plus now they would be solely in the fifth spot. The only reason why they are in the fourth spot is because the last time the Lakers played the Memphis Grizzlies, they beat them. That's the only reason why. And Lakers, as far the team as a whole, they've got to do better when it comes to starting off the second half. That third quarter is not the Lakers' friend at all. It hasn't been. Last couple of years, third quarter lapses, and fourth quarter, it seems like they're playing catch up. They're playing catch up in the third quarter. And also, when it comes to efficiency from three, the Lakers, when the shots aren't falling for you, the Lakers, they need to start packing it into the paint, going to the paint, and driving to the basket, because last night they didn't have particularly a good shooting night from three. They were 17 of 38. The Pacers were 15 of 36, so they were pretty much fortunate. The Lakers were. Free throws, Lakers were better when it comes to free throw percentage. When it comes to the Pacers, rebounds, total rebounds, the Lakers out-rebounded the Pacers by 7. Offensive rebounds, +1 for the Lakers. Defensive rebounds, +6 for the Lakers. Ass- Assists +5 for the Pacers. Steals +4 for the Pacers. Blocks +3 for the Pacers. Total turnovers +5 for the Lakers. Now, one thing I'm going to say about the Lakers is one thing that can hurt them is being lackadaisical in the third quarter, and also turnovers and not being able to get timely rebounds, timely defensive rebounds like they need to. Now, last night, they were fortunate. They were fortunate to get out of Indiana with a win. They were. Because if it was any other Lakers team led by Frank Vogel, probably lose this game. Lakers team led by Darvin Ham probably lose this game. So, fast break points +8 for the Pacers. Points in the paint +6 for the Pacers. Fouls +6 for the Lakers. And also, the largest lead of the game for the Lakers was 17 points. And the largest lead for the Pacers was 8 points. So, the Lakers in this situation, if the playoffs start today, they would have home court advantage, and they would be playing the Memphis Grizzlies. The Pacers, if they had home court advantage, well, they do have home court advantage. They're at the 4th spot. The Indiana Pacers would be playing the winner of Atlanta and Miami. Atlanta and Miami. That is what the Pacers, that's who they would be playing. Either Orlando or Miami. That's what I think. Well, wait a minute. It would be 3, 6, 4, 5. Let's see. Excuse me for a minute. I read something wrong there. The Pacers, they would be playing the Detroit Pistons. They would be playing the Detroit Pistons. And the Detroit Pistons, they are a young, up-and-coming bunch. And I think that they would go toe-to-toe with Indiana in a 7-game series in the first round of the playoffs. So the Lakers, they would be playing the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think the Lakers would overall beat the Memphis Grizzlies. So with that, those are my reactions to last night's slate of NBA games in the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. So please like, comment, share, subscribe, click the notification bell to get notified of all of my reaction videos, shows, and other content. We are also doing an expansion over here on YouTube, Keytown Sports. Please like, comment, follow, share, subscribe to Keytown Sports on YouTube. And also follow my other show, Key City Sports, on Instagram, because now we are at that time of the year where we have Elite 8, Final Four in college basketball, college men's and women. Then we have in the NBA playoffs, NFL draft, more NBA playoffs. Then we have the NBA finals that will be coming up. So you do not want to miss any kind of content that I have in store for anybody. And thank you to everybody that watches the show every day. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for the viewership throughout the world when it comes to Keytown Sports and Key City Sports. What we are going to do, we are just going to expand to levels that we have never seen before. So I'm going to tell you all, I am not going anywhere. So anybody that is still on the fence about what Keytown Sports and what Key City Sports is, please let your family members know, let your friends, let your associates, business associates, your co-workers, let them know what Key City Sports is doing on Instagram and Key Town Sports is doing on YouTube. And one last thing, America, world, or wherever you may be living at, listening, or watching, remember the key is always on time.